Take a look. Mel Kiper released his latest mock draft earlier today. He has the Browns trading up with Denver, so he has given up a third rounder and their 13 to move up to number 9. And the theory here is they get ahead of the Jets so they can take Drake London, wide receiver from USC. And you see the 6'5" height, talented guy, really good at the point of attack, goes and makes contested catches, red zone target. Do you like Drake London?
I like Drake London. I don't like him enough to take him and trade up to get him, right? Like, I think he's somebody, I think these wide receivers, they're not as good as like the 2014 class, where that class was insane. They had like 5 or 6 guys who ended up being like top wide receivers in the league. This is a class where you're going to have a lot of guys who are going to be perennial 1,000-yard wide receivers, but they're never going to be like in the top 5 of receiving yards, maybe for a year or two. But you're not finding like Jamar Chase in this draft, right? And when you're talking about trading up, especially for a wide receiver, when history at drafting wide receivers super early in the draft, I know we have seen Jamar Chase work out, but before Jamar, the best wide receiver in the draft class, you have to go all the way back to like Amari Cooper until that was the first guy taken. So when you know that's the case, and when you know wide receiving scouting can be a little bit of a gamble, you want to kind of fall back on giving up more assets to do it. I'd rather stay at 13. I'm actually in favor of trading back. If I can go back into the 20s, get an extra second round pick, I'm fine with Christian Watson out of North Dakota State, who's also 6'5", who also runs really fast, who also runs well with the football. It's just going to get drafted later in the draft just because of level of competition concerns at North Dakota State. But he comes from an offense that, if you watch his highlights, I mean, it's literally a Shanahan-Stefanski style offense there that he comes out of. So you don't worry as much about if he can do the things. He's a really good blocker. Like, there are so many wide receiving prospects and prospects that will help the Browns at the back end of this first round and in the second round that I would actually value getting more picks back there more than I would value going up into the top 10 to get a guy like Drake London, who he's good. I like him, but I feel like you can get somebody who will be just as productive as him if you trade it back, and you can get more productive players.